407 years ago, our forefathers discovered Ohio. And what we've done is we found some really good deer hunting in Ohio. Man, it's been a journey. Season 1, Season 2, we've had a good time. We went to a lot of amazing different places, got to see a lot of amazing different things. We've kind of transitioned this year though from going out of town a whole lot. Our home state, North Carolina, we started taking deer footage in Season 1. What we found out a lot of times was everybody wanted to send in footage, but nobody had anywhere to hunt. So good Lord blessed us with some pretty good leases in Ohio and different places. So what we did was we started bringing some of our viewers along on those hunts. Try to get them engaged in the process and let them get on a great big deer. We've got some of the biggest free range deer up there in Ohio that you can find anywhere in the country. Been in Missouri, been a lot of places out west, and I mean, you're talking about a 160, 170 inch class deer opportunity. Free range, that's unheard of really, but the properties that we've got the feed, we've got the cover, we've got the water, we've got everything they need to hold them and produce them year after year. We've really worked hard at it.
Got him. He's down. I smoked him.
Topped him. Got him.
Big buck, big buck, big buck.
Got him.
Are you excited?
A little bit, just a little bit. I'm about to fall over.
Oh, Lord.
And you know, Ed, we had these properties leased already before we started the show, and we quickly realized that we had way more deer, big deer on film and on trail cameras than we could hunt. I mean, you can kill one, I can kill one, that's the limit in Ohio, so why not kind of share the bounty, if you will, and let some of you guys get in on this opportunity.
For me and Scott, it's not about killing great big deer. Scott's killed some really nice deer. I've killed some really nice deer. So it's not about us going up there every year, year in and year out, and just filming each other hunting and getting him killing a big deer and me killing a big deer. What we wanted to do was engage people that didn't have that opportunity. Maybe that was something that to them was kind of like an unreachable goal. But what we've done is we've, you know, with the processes that we've got up there and how we're working the land, and the properties that we've got, it just allows us to be able to take more people. The focus of Trophy Room Adventures is a trophy to me may be something different to Scott. Scott's trophy may be something different. But, you know, what we had found with a lot of people was they said, hey, you know, we'd really like the opportunity to get on a 130-inch deer somewhere, but we just don't know where to do that at. And what we've done is we've took what we already had along with the show and kind of encompassing both of them together to try to make a plan to help our viewers get involved and come on the show. It gives you an opportunity to come on the show, get filmed if you want it. We can air it on the show, share that with your friends and family. If you don't want it aired on the show, we can make DVDs out of it or whatever you want to do. Some people are a little camera shy. It's not all about the film. It's not all about the camera. It's not all about getting everything that we need on film. It's about taking somebody who's never had the opportunity and putting them in front of a 130, 140-inch whitetail.
And guys, we literally I've got thousands and thousands of trail camera pictures on my computer that I've saved. And Ed's right, I was there a lot, and you almost know what deer you're going to see on what camera before you ever go and check the camera. And then if he don't show up, you're like, hold on, what's going on? So it's actually amazing how much you can learn with these trail cameras. We put a lot of faith in trail cameras, but you can't put all your faith in these trail cameras. These trail cameras show you what's right in front of you. They show you what's right there in front of you. They don't show you what's to the left. They don't show you what's to the right or behind you, or maybe even just a little out of range behind the camera. I mean, a trail camera is an awesome, awesome tool to help get on these big bucks. But just because you're not getting his picture every day, that don't mean he ain't there.
Well, I mean, how many bucks did you just, you know, that you just caught one time during the rut? I mean,
several.
just one passing through, you know.
Yep.
And chances are when one of our deer was gone for 4 or 5 days, he was passing in front of somebody's else's trail camera.
That's right.
But, that's the way it goes. That's part of free range hunting, and that's what we're doing this year.
We've had a lot of, I'm not calling anybody out, and I'm not doing anything like that, but had some hunters this year that were adamant about looking at these trail cam pictures, and they didn't want to hunt a spot if they wasn't a big buck had been there the last day or two. And you know, it's just like I just said, those hunters, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, and they're trying to increase their odds. But you got to remember that just because he's not right in front of that camera, don't mean he's not standing 10 yards over here. I mean,
well, 2 of the biggest deer that were killed up there this year for us were killed in a place where a trail camera wouldn't have caught them.
Yeah.
The place where they were shot was a place where the trail camera wouldn't have caught them.
That's right.
You know?
That's exactly right. And one of those 2 deer, he was in a place that we'd never had a trail camera picture of him before. He was in a completely different area. So, you know, it's like I said, they're an awesome tool, but you gotta think that they're not always right in front of that camera. They could be just off camera anywhere.
when you're doing this as much as we're doing this now, it's a little different, you know, because you get intimate with these deer. You see them so often, and you kind of are watching their patterns. And then when they disappear for 2 days, you're like, oh no, where did they go? What happened to them? You know, they're showing up every day at 8:45, you know, and now they're, you know, what happened to them? You know, but then 6 days later, when he magically shows up on camera, you're like, oh, there's Swoopy, you know.
Right.
So
he's back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so it's exciting because it's the hunt, but it's not just the being in the stand hunt, it's the whole process.
Right. Well, guys, we've been lucky. We have came across and got some very good land up here in Ohio. I spent a lot of time up there this fall. If you don't believe me, ask my wife; she'll tell you. But anyhow, this land is it's perfect for what we're doing. A lot of crop land. All of our land comes from the farmers. It's all farmland, but the way it rolls, ups and downs, it's got enough hills and valleys in it that there's a lot of little fingers that come into these fields, and it's just a perfect place for these whitetails. Not only is it the perfect place for the whitetails, it's the perfect place to hunt these whitetails. They're going to be in those fingers. That's where they're going to be, and it's makes it. I ain't gonna say it's easy. Don't get me wrong, but it makes it a lot easier to get on one of these big whitetails.
Yeah, the word predictable and whitetail don't belong in the same
Exactly
sentence.
right.
They do exactly what they want to do, but you know, for basically, if you look at an aerial photo, you say, good gracious, there's no way that this property doesn't hold deer because it's just perfect. The way that those fingers edge out is almost, we use the word fingers, but literally our properties look like your hand. I mean, you've got a field here and then they've got edges running through them just like this. I mean, it's just, when you look at it on paper, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to hunt deer in that situation than it is if you had all fields, or if you had 600 acres of all hardwoods. It's tough to get on those deer in those hardwoods. They got a lot of places they can go in 600 acres of hardwoods.
That's right.
But all our stuff, like I said, is farmland. It rotates out. It'll be corn one year, next year it'll be soybeans. And we've got some different farms, and it's never always all corn. It's never always all soybeans. It's always this farm is this for this year, this is this, then they switch. So you've always got a different crop to hunt, and it's a lot easier to hunt some crops than it is others.
I'm Buck Smith. I'm from Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. This is my first time out here. I usually go to Illinois, but this year we wanted to come to Ohio. We've been hearing good things about Ohio. And we got in here yesterday around 3 o'clock and met the boys. We had a good time last night watching football. And this morning they put me in a tree blind, and about 7:15, this old guy come out of the tree line and we whacked him, and I couldn't ask for a nicer deer. He's great. The guys are great. They said they'd do what they would do, and they did it. So I'm glad to be here.
You know, he finally steps out. I get the camera on him somehow. Thank the Lord. I don't know how it all worked out, but we got it done, and the sawmill buck is coming home with me.
Folks, I don't know if you got that, if you can see that or not, but that was a huge buck right there. Huge buck.
Well, guys, I got lucky yesterday afternoon. First of all, I got to thank the Lord for giving me the opportunity to harvest an animal like this. We've been seeing this deer quite a bit on the pictures. Actually, he didn't show up till about I guess it's been about a month and a half ago, about the time bow season started 2 months ago, and went in, drove the four-wheeler all the way in, unloaded 3 bags of corn, baited the bait pile for him, pulled the card out of the camera, put it in my pocket, took the four-wheeler back down the mountain, and then walked back up there and crawled in the blind. And it was already late. About an hour later, this dude comes in, and he kind of snuck in on me. Had a doe in the bait pile, and she kept looking down the hill beside of me. And I finally just peeled the window back on the blind and looked out, peeked out, and sure enough, he was standing there 20 yards from the blind. He'd snuck in. We got a lot of rain last night, and the leaves were real quiet, and he'd snuck right in on me. But luckily, was able to get the windows down on that side of the blind, turn the camera around, and made a good shot on this old boy. And like I said, I want to thank the Lord for allowing me the opportunity and the ability and the health to be able to do this.
And if turkeys is your thing, man, you need to come up and shoot some of these birds. I mean, one field I had 60-some birds in the same field. It's just a ridiculous amount of birds. So if turkey hunting's your thing and you want to come up for a turkey hunt, we'd sure be glad to hook you up with that.
Oh yeah, and there's even a fall turkey season. You guys come up deer hunting, you can get a turkey tag and we can work out the details on that. But there's a great opportunity that you get a chance at a turkey in the fall too, while you're sitting there waiting on a deer. So we actually had several, probably half of our clients this fall had an opportunity at a turkey if they had wanted to take one.
Got him, John. Good job, buddy.
Good smoke. talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey.
Okay.
You smoked him, Dustin.